Welcome. It's a bit of a different thing um, tonight, but I just thought I'd jump on quickly and speak about the game, and more importantly, hear your opinions about the game, really, because I've seen a fair bit of head loss. If I'm being honest, I've seen a fair bit of head loss on on Twitter. To be honest, it's been definitely an interesting place to be tonight. I'd say regarding the Wolves, definitely an interesting place. But I just thought I'd come live just so I can hear sort of your opinions. Really, I think I mean, your opinions matter a lot more than mine, definitely as Wolves fans. So I just thought I'd jump on quickly, really, and take some opinions from you because I think it's very important to obviously remember that it is a pre-season game, but also it is quite concerning how miles off it the squad looks, and I do think that a lot of work needs to be done. So I'm just going to post on socials, mainly on Twitter. I think is probably the best place um, at the moment to have a look. But we should be, I think we should be live now anyway. But yeah, so I think it's more important what you lot think, to be honest, more than anything, because what I think necessarily doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. I don't think it's as important as what you think. So just going to put a tweet out. Welcome if you're just joining as well. I'm just putting a tweet out to try and get a few more Wolves fans in here because I think it's important we chat about the game. I take your opinions, like I say, because they're more valid than mine. I think you've obviously got an emotional attachment to it as well. So, um, yeah, just putting a tweet out. There we go. Right, we're live. We've got 5 people in here. Welcome in. If there's to everyone who's in here. This is my first live stream, really. I've been sort of trialing it every now and then, but this is the first one we've actually gone ahead and done. So let me know in the comments what you thought about the game tonight. I think I think it's very important that we speak about it, really, for many reasons. To be honest, obviously, it's pre-season. You should always take games with a pinch of salt, and I try not to think about pre-season too much. It's just something for me that has never really felt that relevant, but definitely now. I think tonight, I think a lot of people are feeling frustrated and quite angry, and to be fair, to a degree, upset as well um, about it. So I want to hear your opinions. Really, obviously, there's 8 of you in here now, so welcome in if you are joining. Hope you're all well. Did Arias play? I missed it. Phil, he didn't play, mate. He wasn't in the squad whatsoever. It's come too early for him, but I do think he'll be playing against Girona, mate. So keep your eye out for that. I'll be pretty confident that he'll play against Girona or at least get some minutes. I don't think necessarily he'll start, but he might start to give Wolves fans that little pick me up, I suppose, after what has been a pretty poor evening, to be honest, in terms of football. Not even in terms of the result, but in terms of especially that second half performance. It's not something that I'd ever I'd ever pay £5 for again. Put it that way. But yeah, it was a very interesting one. Also, welcome to the 10 of you who are in it. I appreciate you all being here. This is my very first live stream on YouTube, so just getting to grips with it. So feel free to comment. I'll interact with every comment. You know me, I interact with every comment on the videos, and it'll be the exact same in this live as well. I want to hear your opinions as Wolves fans. I know a lot of you are very frustrated. I've seen a few guys on Twitter leaving the game early as well, and I can't really blame you too much, to be honest with you. All right, mate. Yes, Josh, I'm good. Thank you, mate. How are you? Yes, Hive, mate. How are we? Good evening, mate. Absolute pleasure to speak to you the other day. I'm going to put the full video out at some point. I just did a little edited video the other day, but I'm going to put the full interview out at some point. I might release them as audio as well for podcast. I'm not sure yet, but I do have a Spotify account with a few of my old podcasts on, so I might release them as audio files as well, just in case. But yeah, it was really nice to chat to you, mate. And I've had a Villa fan on recently. I've had Burnley, Villa, Brighton, Chelsea. Sunderland, Wolves, obviously, had a lot of the fans covered. There's a few I still haven't got. Palace, it's quite tough. City and United as well, mainly because the accounts are so big that it's quite hard to receive a response from them, to be honest. I was okay until I watched Wolves, nothing new there. Yeah, fair enough, mate. I think it's a bit of a mood kill tonight. I think it's been a bit of a mood kill. I was quite looking forward to it, especially first half or first sort of 25, 30 minutes. Um, I wouldn't say impressed, but I didn't hate the idea. Oh, hang on. I didn't hate the idea of the game. It didn't seem that awful. And then second half, whew, bloody hell. What a performance. Wowzers. But yeah, just generally pretty underwhelming, really. Also, like I say, I'm not going to just be talking my opinions. I really want everyone to get involved in the live chat because, like I say, this is something that I'm starting now that's new. So it'll be refreshing to see so many comments. And also, there's 16 of you in here. We've had 2 likes at the moment. So I'd appreciate it if you could all like the video as well. If we could get to 10 likes, that would be incredible on my first live stream. I understand live streams are extremely hard to do and extremely hard to grow, but I love getting in front of the camera and talking. And I've often done it on TikTok, so it comes quite natural to me, really. Can we talk about how bad Bentley is? Yeah, he's not ideal. Let's just say that, mate. Let's just say that. I don't think he could catch a cold, mate, if I'm being completely honest. But well, you'll always have Old Trafford away last season to thank him for. We need a minimum 4 players to come in straight away, but we will have enough time to bed them in the team if we sign any. Yeah, I think. To be fair, you lot know me. I'm very positive when it comes to Wolves. Really, yeah, I've tried Ollie, but I can't reach out to him, mate. He just doesn't seem to respond to messages on Twitter. Obviously, he must get a lot, and he gets dogs abuse at the minute as well, so he probably doesn't want to look at messages. But yeah, I'd love to speak to Ollie, mate. If you've got any way of making that happen, then appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know if that's a possibility at the moment. But yeah, I think Wolves need, I'm quite positive and optimistic about Wolves generally, but I do think after tonight's performance, I'm feeling a lot less optimistic as someone on the outside looking in. I think it looked very concerning at points. I mean, the first half an hour was okay, but the second half was, very poor. Saw a clean sheet, Bentley 3 goals conceded. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know if it's not solely down to the goalkeeper, but yeah, I just think overall the general second half performance was worrying, to say the least, I think. But thank you to everyone liking the live stream. I really appreciate you all being in. Also, if you're new on this channel, I would appreciate you staying around as well. I very much appreciate that. I am speaking to a fan of every Premier League club at the moment for my videos. So if you're not a Wolves fan, I'm sure I'll be making content that's catered to you as well. My most recent one, as you can see, is with Aston Villa there. Now, again, Wolves fans don't like Villa, so I didn't expect too much support on it, but those videos haven't done too well. But I'm putting a lot of effort in, so that's all it is, really. Hello again, mate. I didn't watch it, but I'm certain we're doomed. Yeah, I think it's always nice to see you in as well. Welcome to 26 of you in my first live stream on YouTube. Absolutely amazing, man. Thank you all for being in. And get in the comments, get interactive, man, because I'm reading every chat out, really, unless it's outrageous. But we haven't had any of them so far, so let's not worry. It was second half was poor, Harry, mate. I'm sure you'll see the highlights if they want to release a highlight reel, that is, because there wasn't bloody many. But yeah, it was second half was poor. First half was all right. Didn't know Daniel Bentley was still at Wolves. Lol, been a minute since I've heard that name. Yeah, I don't blame you. I think us Wolves are going down. Nah, you'll be all right, mate. I still think you'll be fine. I do think to be, in a way, it's going to sound a bit weird, but I think in a way Wolves needed that performance to hopefully indicate to the hierarchy that something has to change this summer and there needs to be a bit of movement going on, because that current squad is concerning going into the Premier League season. Starting 11 wise, it's not terrible, but even then, I think there's one or two you can improve in that starting 11 for me personally. Obviously, people are also forgetting that Jean Arias, is still to come in. So in terms of offensively, the team will get better. But yeah, there needs to be some action, I think. Jeff needs to put his hands in his pockets. Yeah, you're not wrong. But equally, mate, it's not all Jeff Shee. I don't think that. I think that's one thing that people need to Equally, I'm not a fan of Jeff Shea. I've made it very, very abundantly clear. But equally, it's Fosun, Shea, and Tetty. They've all got jobs to do. They've all got jobs to do. Where are the incoming players? Shea. One I feel sorry for is Vitor. Yeah, completely agree. Birmingham are going to replace the Prem there, showing more ambition. Brilliant, Harry. To think that could be our starting 11 against City first game in the season. Yeah, that is the worry. That is the worry, isn't it? I think it's mainly defensively it's the worry. Obviously, Mosquera's nowhere near it in terms of fitness wise. He'll come in eventually. And then obviously, yeah, there still needs to be improvements in certain areas, definitely. And depth is more important as well, massively important. I might do another video on this tomorrow, or not necessarily on the game, but maybe on Wolves. But there's not too many sort of things I want to talk about because a lot of it is negative, and I don't want to keep putting content out there that's negative. But equally, there's not a hell of a lot of positive. What have we got here? To think that could be our starting 11 against City first game of the season. City are going to absolutely smash us in. I hope Pep at least buys Vitor dinner first. Surely this is not the team. It looks like it could be. Honestly, I've never seen so much head loss on social media over friendlies. I blame a lot of these transfer news Twitter for clickbait posts, just trying to cause unrest for clicks. I do agree with that, Tommy, mate. I do agree with that. I don't think the ITKs help. These people making up fake rumours. Yeah, I don't think that helps whatsoever because then people see that, believe it. Especially the older generation see it, believe it, and then spout it all over social media about how outrageous it is. So yeah, I don't think that massively helps. I can see us dipping into the jam window once more. Same personally, which is quite a big worry as well. The wing backs have to be replaced. Now, I think if you go into the season with Herver and Bueno as backup options, you're in relatively decent shape. But yeah, I do worry about them starting week in, week out. I worry about Bueno more than Herver, but equally I worry about them both as not a million miles off each other. Majority of clubs, got to remember John Arias, he looks brilliant. Yeah, John Arias is the shining light in all of this really in this window. And Fer Lopez has looked sharp when he's played as well. I really want to be positive, but I just can't seem to find the energy. You have every right to be negative. Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I'm me, I'm quite optimistic. And I try to make content that you all enjoy watching. And I think if I'm constantly negative, you're not going to enjoy it. And also, I think people watch YouTube for an escape, don't they? And to sort of get other people's opinions on it. So that's sort of what I try to do in my content, really. And it's all, a lot of, it's all my opinion. So yeah, I think I'm just naturally an optimistic person, though. So in a way, I hope you all enjoy that sort of, because I have that perspective from the outside of the Wolves fan base as well as taking an opinion from it. So I'm sort of the middleman, really, which is I think quite a good place to be, really, for me. But yeah, I completely understand everyone's feelings to it, and everyone's completely entitled to feel the way they do. How many signings do you think we need? If you look at the starting 11. Obviously, Mosquera will come back in, but we don't know when he'll come back in. Doherty, again, you can do far worse at right centre-back than starting this season with him and bleeding Mosquera through. I think left-sided centre-back cover for Totti because, he's going to play a hell of a lot of football and he's also had suffered with some injuries as well at times. So left-sided centre-back cover, wing-backs in both areas, midfield depth for me, and then maybe one or two forwards, whilst also, as controversial as it is, letting some more go because Wolves have let a lot of players go, but some of those players aren't good enough. And it looks like, for example, Gonzalo Guedes, the only player to score tonight, and he'll be out the door. So, yeah, it's very interesting. When Wolves lose, it's a meltdown. Why is Channy still in the team? Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I think Wolves should have accepted the money from Marseille last summer for Hwang personally, as looking at it in that perspective, in my personal opinion. But that's just me, I suppose. Wing backs are gash. Back up, they'll be okay. Yeah, they're relatively sound backup players, really. Got to have faith in the old gold. Indeed, mate, indeed. That Stoke performance and Lons is killing my hope. Guedes, Silva, Hechan, Johnson all still to be moved on. Yeah, exactly. At least three of them move on, I think. Guedes is all nailed on to move, really. Questions have to be asked about Tetty, Uncle George, and the new structure. This next few weeks, we're going to need to get some momentum going. Yeah, there has to be movement on the transfer front now. It can't keep being links, can it? We have to see, you have to see concrete moves, concrete deals, and getting players in through the door because the money's absolutely there. It's just, yeah. Has to be 4 signings, at least 4, yeah, I think. we have always done our business towards the end of the market. Yeah, same with Fulham, Tommy T. I was speaking to a Fulham fan the other day. I did a video on it as well. And he was saying, Fulham fans tend to panic for the start of the window, but they always sort of let the rest of the Premier League teams, get their players in, and then they feed off the scraps. And ultimately, them scraps, they've turned into diamonds most of the time. So, yeah, I think there's two ways of looking at it. And if Wolves could operate in that way, then it's not, the worst. But it's just whether, it remains to be seen whether they do operate in that way. The negligence of our club needs to be studied. I just don't understand the mentality of our owners. Don't be sad, mate. Yeah, I think the mentality. At the end of the day, Fosun, Shea, and almost everyone involved at the club says that the club have got ambition to get back to Europe and to climb up the table and see consistent improvement every season. But of course, it just doesn't feel like that, and it mustn't feel like that as Wolves fans. Good to see a live podcast. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate the live videos. I do go live on TikTok a fair bit, but I like going live on YouTube. It's my first one today. So if you are enjoying it, everyone, please like the live. I would appreciate it, man. I really would. And I'm going to start doing more long form videos in terms of, a lot of my videos range from the 10 to 20 minute mark. And obviously the video I did with Dave the other day, the podcast was 40 minutes long and all of you loved it. So that was, really great to see. So thank you all for that support on that. I really do appreciate it. And as you see, I'm really trying to grow here. So it means a lot that you all are supporting. It's nice to see the same faces and sometimes some new faces in the chat as well. But yeah, Sasa, Guedes and Hwang, 3 of our 4 scorers in pre-season. Yeah, that is true, David. I didn't actually think of that. That is a very good point you make there, mate. Wolves were 19th last Christmas and we're on a 7-game winning streak. Majority of them without Cooney, so got to keep our heads up. Yeah. I am concerned that it gets to the January transfer window again, though, and it runs down to the wire, and you're relying on a really good, promising window to rescue you. I think it was obviously Hobbs' last window in charge as well. And he brought in Agbadu, Giga, Manetzi. Ultimately Manetzi and Agbadu massive in Wolves' remaining half of the season last year. But yeah, it's I'm worried that may happen. I'm a bit concerned for you, all of you Wolves fans, really. I expect some movement on X tonight, maybe rumours. Yeah, I think it always comes out after a loss. There's always people tend to make up rumours, which is the issue as well, though. Normally we don't lose players this many. Normally we don't lose this many first-team players. It's unacceptable. Yeah, somewhat agree, but I do think a lot of the players that are going should be going still. I think don't get me wrong, some of the outgoings are outrageous, and the Nelson Semedo stuff I find nuts in terms of from his perspective, really. But obviously it's Champions League football again, so he's probably not going to turn that down. But in terms of quality, being the wage you would have got at Wolves and being a Premier League captain for the next 4 years in which they offered him, I still think that would have been a good move for him to continue. But yeah, ultimately, I think I don't think he's getting enough blame personally. I think he's in some way also shafted the club a little bit personally, but that's just me. We always do business late, but of recent years the business hasn't been great as it's been rushed. Forbes, Johnson, Gonzalez, Bueno, Costa, Kalidzic. Yeah, the Forbes one is harsh because Forbes didn't play that much. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't saying he was unbelievable enough to play that every week. But again, Gonzalez, an injury-prone player. Bueno, he's had some good games, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there are some mad deals. Don't get me wrong, there's been some mad deals going on. Bellegarde's performance. Yeah, Bellegarde was decent, mate. Really feel sorry for the likes of Joao Gomez. Gives everything and receives little in return. He deserves a big move. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that, mate. Thank you. What do you think of the new away kit? Love it. I think it's lovely. I think it's a lovely kit, mate. Very similar to last season's goalkeeper shirt. But yeah, I like the colour. Really like the colour. Rumours on X is exactly the problem. They're just made for clickbait and half the fan base lose their heads when we don't sign a player we had no interest in. Exactly. I do agree with that. But every fan base has them, so that's it, isn't it? Larson's not getting any service. We don't have any creativity, and what's concerning is I can't see where the goals are coming from. I think that's the least of the worries going into next season, though. Personally, I think John Arias and Furlow has looked really promising in pre-season, and John Arias is a great signing, and we haven't seen him yet. So I don't think that's the issue. I think for me, it's the depth and the wing backs especially, but just general depth and lack of quality when you take that first 11 away is concerning. What have we got here? Larson's not getting any service. Sorry, I've just answered that one. Great channel. I take it you're a Wolves fan. I'm not Daniel, mate, but I'm very well, versed in the Wolves sphere, and I've got a lot of contacts, a lot of friends and family who support Wolves, and been following Wolves ever since I was a babby, really, mate. To be fair, always been my sort of one of the clubs that I've always followed along with Liverpool. Obviously supported Liverpool, but always followed Wolves, and even in the League One days and stuff like that. So yeah, I've always been to Wolves games, always been going to Wolves games, and my first ever football match was a Wolves game as well, funnily enough. But my dad is a Liverpool fan, so I support my dad's side. But no, I make a lot of Wolves content, mate. I don't like to think, and I think most of the people in the chat put a one in the chat. In fact, put a one in the chat if I am generally quite spot on about Wolves. I like to think I am, but this could easily go very bad. So, well aware. Gomez and Andre deserve the world. Yeah, they're top players, mate. Every video you do, Wolves does really well. I think you find a fan base and really cares for your opinion. Top man. Yeah, that's what I like about it, Lamb, really. I'm in that sort of it almost sort of, I like to think of it as, I've got like the Wolves fans that I know, the Wolves journalists I know, the Wolves family I know, and then my personal opinion about Wolves I've, had over 20 odd years of being on the planet. So when I mix all them together, I'm somewhere in the middle of that. So it feels like they sort of orbit and I'm sort of in the middle of it, and I've got a really good sweet spot. And also, a lot of the Wolves fans, a lot of Wolves fans are really, really nice to me, and they have been, and they really value my opinion. And I think Wolves fans do appreciate it because I don't have an emotional attachment to the club. So hearing my opinion as an outsider that also knows all of the inside stuff and a hell of a lot about the club, I think that, that translates well, really. So I hope everyone enjoys it. So, that's why I do it. I care about creating content. I care about putting my opinion across in the best possible way and interacting with as many Wolves fans and growing a community as much as I can. So, yeah, thank you for the question. I think it was a nice sort of answer for really to give. Hopefully you sort of liked it, but no reason to panic. It's a friendly and Vitor will be learning. Yeah, I don't think there's no reason to panic, mate. I think there's massive reasons to panic, but equally, yeah. So I don't put much stock in pre-season, but I do think it's still one that is worth discussing now, I think, personally. Obviously, a lot of people are emotional after the game as well, so that can also impact judgment as well. People should take note that new signs aren't a magical one. That's magical thinking. Yeah, that is also true. Liverpool will win the league if they get Isak. Yeah, it's hard to argue, isn't it? Deep down, we all know, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate you all being in here. If you are in here as well, 44 of you in here this evening, thank you very much. I appreciate it's very late as well, and obviously a lot of you are probably coming back from the game. But if you are enjoying it, please leave a like on the live. It really does help me a hell of a lot. And like I say, first live stream to get 44 concurrent people in here is, it's a massive achievement, really, and I'm quite proud of it. So thank you all for being in here. I appreciate all of you. And if there's anyone who hasn't interacted with the chat yet, feel free to, because I'm answering all questions and discussions and having debates, really. So it's going to be probably the first of many, hopefully. It's going to be the first of many, but I'm sure we'll do more based off the success of tonight, hopefully. And it's nice because everyone's sort of, not at work, and there's people who perhaps don't interact with my channel as much or see my content as much also coming in the live. So, yeah, I really appreciate that a hell of a lot. If we get a solid defender, solid bench midfielder to replace Doyle, solid winger should be sound. I think the wing backs, the wing backs is the biggest area for concern at the moment, I think. Wing backs, midfield depth. I also think a left-sided centre half to cover for Totti. Obviously, I don't know if he'll go full season injury free, and also there's no one in that squad that can comfortably play it. And then I think another one or two forwards and a midfield cover is definitely needed. I mean, letting go of Hodge was the fine decision because I don't think Hodge was anywhere near good enough to play for Liverpool for Wolves, but letting go of Doyle and Traore without any replacements already in the door seemed a weird one to me. I would have let them go towards the end of the window because Tommy Doyle wasn't short of suitors, was he? He had Sunderland sniffing around him, Birmingham sniffing around him, or the Championship club. I think Sheffield United would wanting a return for him as well. So he would have been short of suitors, and Wolves could have definitely got rid of him out the door if they wanted to. I also think Wolves could have done worse than keeping him, but equally, he's not one of those deep line playmaker in this Wolves side is not really what Vitor wants, is he? And he needs to go out and play football ultimately. So for his career, it was the right decision. Has there been any update on Guedes, Silva, or Hwang? Wingbacks need sorted before City. Sorry, yeah, I agree. Has there been any update on Guedes, Silva, or Hwang? I haven't been able to check today. Is that Deadwood? If that Deadwood is got rid of, do we think we see signings in places we need? Surely, yeah. Guedes will be off to Sociedad. I'm pretty confident of that going through. So yeah, I think Guedes will be off. Huang and Silva, Silva's got links. I think it was Frankfurt were linked with him yesterday. Um, I think Silva will go. I think out of them three, I think Guedes and Silva are the two nailed on ones. Huang, I'm not so sure he goes, to be quite honest. With a 3-4-3 formation, you have to have good wing backs. Yeah, definitely. Wolves need good players in wide areas, and ultimately this system is based off really really good wing backs, and that's how every five at the back slash three at the back, whatever you want to call it, is sort of built off. Pre-season's not taking it literally at all, but it was piss poor, to be honest. If Arsenal were in for Bentley, we should have taken their arm off. Huang showed some good feet, but I can't remember much else, to be honest. Yeah, it was a very forgettable game of football, wasn't it? And it was one of them you want to forget, to be honest. You're one of them. It's one of them you wish was a nightmare. You don't want to wake up and you know wake up in cold sweats thinking about that game tonight. But yeah, it wasn't a great game. Like, it wasn't an unbelievable performance or anything. First half was okay, but yeah, thought Chiquinho was solid. Chiquinho doesn't play for Wolves, mate. Unless you're on about like you thought Chiquinho was going to stay. Obviously, he went to Alverca, hasn't he now? But if Vitor decides to leave, there won't be a Vitor type of figure to save us, Wolves. I don't know about that. I think there are a lot of managers that are based on passion and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't think there'll be someone to save them. No, but I don't think he should leave if he carries on. I thought he was good enough for us. See, Chiquinho for me was never a Premier League level footballer. I mean, he looked miles off it at Stoke, and he never really got a chance at Stoke for that reason. His attitude as well didn't seem like one of his strong points, and to sort of go somewhere in the Premier League, you have to have that attitude. So I think selling him to Alverca was the right decision personally. And it's a good standard of football. They've signed a hell of a lot of players, and they've got aspiration to sort of break into that clutch of teams of Sporting Braga, Porto, Benfica. That's their aspirations as a club. Vinicius Junior backs them as well, and they've got a lot of money back, a lot of backing. Sorry, financially. So yeah. Oh, I didn't know he had a bad attitude. Yeah, it was Stoke, wasn't it? Mainly, really, that sort of issue. Mr. Wolves not good enough for that futsal standard. Yeah, I thought he was good enough for us. Do you mean Chirewa? Yeah, I don't think he meant Chirewa. I think we've clarified the Chiquinho thing now, but yeah, Tawanda Chirewa again, another one that's just I think needs another loan. But obviously, how many players can Wolves keep losing before people just really lose their rag? I know it's a bit of a mad situation at the moment, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to pin this comment because I want to see what people think. Hang on. No, I'll pin one in a minute if anyone wants to comment anything else. But there's 49 people in here, man. I really appreciate you being in here tonight. Just want to discuss everything, really. Everything about the Wolves. It doesn't have to be about tonight's game. It can be anything about the Wolves, how you're feeling about the season, where you think you'll finish, just anything. Get in the comments, man. I really would appreciate you being in the comments. We've had a lot of the same people in the comments now, so I want to see new faces in there. And if you are in here, please don't, feel embarrassed or ashamed to get in the comments or nervous. We're going to make it sort of, we'll have a comfortable conversation about it, and um, hopefully go somewhere with it and make it a bit of a success. So if you do like this content as well, I'm happy to go live, a few evenings perhaps, and sort of share my thoughts. Really, should be quite entertaining if it's something you guys want to see as well. Has anyone lost this many first team players? Not at the moment, no. Like, you've got clubs that aren't signing a hell of a lot. David Moyes has said it for Everton. They've signed Asnu, and they've signed Tierno Barry, which I think is a really good signing. But in terms of, again, he wants more numbers through the door. Glasner's come out this week, said he wants more numbers through the door, but they haven't lost too many. Fulham have had one player through the door, but again, haven't lost many. Looks like they might be losing Adama Traore, but again, haven't lost many numbers despite not bringing any in other than Lecomte, backup goalkeeper. So, yeah, not too many clubs are losing players. I mean, Brentford have lost some big players, but they haven't lost a ridiculous amount of them. Really hope Sasa doesn't break this season. I really like how he looks on the ball and think if he stays fit, he could be a bit of a new signing. I think he's got a place in this Wolves team, and I don't think he's the worst one to keep around because realistically, ultimately, he's not got any market value either at the moment. And in terms of profile, he's not ridiculously dissimilar to Strand Larson, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit of a mad situation at the minute. Sort of none of the answers I come up with feel right. I follow you on TikTok as well. Love your content, lad. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that a hell of a lot, man. Thank you. Wait till the season starts and Wolves lose, the platform's meltdown. Yeah, every platform will be going into meltdown, mate. And to be fair, I might well be one of them. To be fair, and I'm not a Wolves fan, but it depends how the season starts. Listen, there's so many weeks left of the window, and a lot can change. But Wolves are going to have to start seeing some links in the next maximum 48 hours. I think there's got to be at least four in the next 48 hours. There's got to be one link, like a solid link. I'm not talking a bloody in the know on Twitter. I'm talking like a proper, valid link to a journalist. There's got to be something. There's got to be something. People are gonna, there's only so much Wolves fans can take. I think. What do you think Mane can do this season? See, I like him a lot as a player, man. I think he's so good. But again, I just don't think it's the right environment to bring him into really at the moment. While there's so much uncertainty, but equally, if you're good enough, you're old enough, I suppose. Season 8 was starting and Wolves were already depressing me. Can't believe we got hijacked by bloody Atletico Madrid. He was going to be Semedo's replacement. Yeah, probably. I mean, you know me. I think did 2 videos on him in the end. Yeah, would have been a great signing. A really great signing. I think Vitor wants to play 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. That's why we need a creative central midfielder to play three in the middle and two up front. Too many okayish players. We need some 5 quality players. Do you know what, Mac? Though I don't think he will play a 3 in midfield, because I think if he would have played a 3 in midfield, I think Tommy Doyle maybe would have stayed around. I think Vitor Pereira just wants that double pivot. I mean, obviously Andre's pretty much an out and out 6, and then Joao Gomez is a bit of a 6-8 hybrid. So yeah, I don't know. I do think he'll still stick with those two as the midfielders, though. Mane and Lima need to just stay. See, for me, Lima, I think, is crying out for a loan. Personally, I get that he's a very exciting prospect. I get that he's rapid. I get that he's got a really good delivery on him. He's really good offensively. But for me, I think he needs a loan. That's just my opinion. I know people don't agree with that. Well aware people don't agree with that, and a lot of people have agreed with that when I've said it in the past. But for me, I think Pedro Lima needs a loan. Tommy Doyle on loan is good for the long term, in my opinion. Yeah, it's good for him. Yeah, and also it can, his market value can go up, especially if Blues have a season where they're pushing promotion, potentially going straight up through automatics. So, yeah, we do appear to need new blood. Cunha, Ryan Aitnori, and Semedo are the biggest losses, and we only just avoided relegation in the poor Premier League with those guys. Incomings need time to gel too, so time is of the essence now. Yeah, as I just said, I think Wolves need to get some solid links, some concrete links in the next sort of 48 hours, maximum 72 hours, really. But yeah, I think Wolves fans want to see, you'll all want to see links ASAP. Yeah, it's first team football, playing for a possession based side, mate. At the end of the day, with Tommy, so loan is perfect as long as we don't sell him. Yeah, I don't think you'll sell him. No, I don't think you'll sell him. Josh still not good enough. Both he and Lima should be loaned. Yes, Lima should be loaned, in my opinion. Lons were dirty during that game. Had their manager not told them it was a friendly, I thought they broke. Yeah, there was a few heavy tackles. There was a few heavy tackles for a friendly. And I'm a man who loves a heavy tackle. I have to say, I have to respect a heavy tackle, but in a friendly, yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Need to be careful with Mane. We thrust Fabio into line like them. Fraser and Chiwoma get Mane alone this year. Agreed. Lima for a loan. Needs to force him to communicate in English as he's too comfortable. Yeah, that's another great point, I think. Yeah, I don't mind that too much whatsoever. I think, yeah, the Fraser and Chiwoma stuff, I completely get that as well. Completely get that. But yeah, I just want to know everyone's opinions, really. I think there's been so much. You can put anything in the chat and I'll pretty much answer it, unless it's obviously absolutely ludicrous or, horrible, to be honest. But I will interact with all your comments. So if there's 37 of you in here. If we could get to 30 likes out of the 37 people in here, that would be incredible, man. We are 6 likes away from that, so I would very much appreciate it. But hopefully you enjoy these type of live streams, like I say, because I enjoy interacting with you all, and it's nice to see a few new faces as well. What's happened to Fraser? Went to some Belgian side and then disappeared. Yeah, that is true, to be fair. God knows where he is. But yeah, Lima's a baller, but not a Premier League baller. Getting to a Championship, that's League One side for 2 seasons, and come back a better player. So I think a European loan would suit Lima, or yeah, a Championship loan again. Sort of Keanu Herver. I think he'd be good in the Championship. Only issue is again is the physical stature of him. I think he probably would suit a European side better. I actually think he would suit a possession based side a bit better as well. But if Sarr gets injured, we finish 20th. No, you'll be fine, mate. You got Sam Johnston. He's the best keeper in the league. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Sam Johnston, tell you what. Now there's a man that I want starting in goal every week. Oh, what a keeper. The man who just is obsessed with the Midlands, mate. Absolutely obsessed with the Midlands, that fella. Well, how's this? Been here, there, and everywhere. Other than Blues, actually. But yeah, I could see him in the Spanish second division side on loan or something like that. I mean, Almeria are looking for a left back now, but obviously they're in La Liga. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting next season. But let me know in the comments as well. Also, put in the comments, what you think about Johnston's a conference player. I think he's a high end champ player, high end champ keeper slash mid table championship keeper. When you look at the championship keepers, though, there's some well better keepers than him. To be fair, Michael Cooper's a prime example of that. What a keeper he is! He'll still be playing championship football next year, I'd imagine as well. So, to be fair, I was surprised a team like Newcastle didn't look for him. Look at him because they were looking at Trafford anyway. I thought he'd been a really good option, but don't want to see anyone in goal except Jose Sarr. See, for me, like I've been very vocal about Jose Sarr in the past. Like I don't like him whatsoever, really, as a keeper. I don't rate him overly highly, but he is absolutely not one of the biggest problems at Wolves at the minute. So it makes no sense to move him on. Like again, he's got at least another year or two. It makes no sense to move him on now. And yeah, I'm not his biggest fan, as I've said, but yeah, again, he's one of them that just yeah, I don't think he should. Yeah, he has got better since Pereira came in. Yeah, he has. I mean, definitely, because when you think about that bloody Gary O'Neill, that Gary O'Neill period last season, God, that Chelsea game, it's one of the worst performances from a goalkeeper I've ever seen. Ridiculous, man. Yeah, it's he's definitely improved since Vitor Pereira came in because I thought, I mean, to be fair, even eight Nori him in that Chelsea game were god awful, but yeah, I think he definitely has improved. He's not one to move on this summer anyway, not with the amount of change that's going on. Personally, think the foreign players, if loaned, should go to championship sides. Physical, horrible at times, perfect training tonight to get up to scratch what's required. Yeah, completely agree, mate. Yeah, Liam, spot on. This is spot on. I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to pin that. I don't know what that does. Puts it in the chat. Lovely. I'm just using all these new features, lads. I'm trying to get to grips with it, but yeah, I agree with that. I will unpin it now. Just want to see what it did. All right, I'm just playing around. Just playing around, all right. But yeah, I agree. He's the least of the worries at the moment. Still have nightmares after that Chelsea game. We don't need to move Sarr on. Just need to help him out. I think he'll be moved on in the next 2 years, next 18 months maybe. But yeah, not now. Definitely not. But yeah. Hive, I'm not sure if you're still in here, mate, but I'm just going to reply to you on Twitter. I've got him on Do Not Disturb. That's why I haven't seen your message, but I will reply to that. Absolutely amazing of you to suggest some creators for me, though, mate. Absolute legend. I'm not sure if he's still in here, but I do appreciate that. I will reach out to him. So it would be nice to change. We have to sort of wing backs another 10, another midfielder left, sorry, centre back forward. Exactly. That's spot on. That is how I feel about Jose Sarr and how I feel about the current situation, mate. You're getting a pin, mate. That's how I feel. I completely agree with that comment there. I think Sarr's one of them. If you change him, it's not a terrible decision, but equally not this summer. Not this summer. I think that's a spot on point. Really spot on point there, mate. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that, mate. You've earned yourself a well done there, mate. You've earned yourself a well done. It's World Cup year, so a lot of players will only move if they are guaranteed to start. Otherwise, it upsets the Cup chances. Yeah, good point. When I'm sat and listed everything we need, I'm gone. I've had enough Wolves talk for one night. Fair enough, mate. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. We should have the money to get a whole new squad. To be fair, yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, also, everyone, if you have enjoyed and if you are enjoying, I would appreciate out of the 43 of you that are in here, if you could like the live because it helps me out, helps more people see my channel. I don't actually know if we've gained any subscribers. I will have to actually manually look at that on my phone because I don't think it alerts me when I do have subscribers. So I'm just going to have a gander. All right, I'm just going to have a gander. And if you are in here and you're not subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Like I say, I mean, we've had 5 subs since doing this live. Absolutely amazing. Thank you to everyone who's in here. There's 41 of you in here. So if there's any of you could subscribe, I think we're 4 away from 1175, which is just seemed impossible last week. Seemed impossible last week. I mean, I think we've had nearly 700 subscribers in the last 12 days, which has been mind blowing, man. I can't explain how happy I am with that. I really do appreciate every single one of you that's in here. And like I say, if you aren't subscribed, we are two away from 1175, as you can see there. That is absolutely ridiculous. We're 1 away. What is going on? Thank you to everyone, man. We've got the same amount of people in here as we got likes. Do you know how hard that is on YouTube? Thank you so much. Chinese competition to stave off complacency, but he's streets ahead of Johnston. I agree, mate. I agree. I support Liverpool, surely, mate. But like I say, all my family are Wolves, other than my dad, which is obviously my. A lot of people support the team their dad supports, don't they? So yeah, for me that's the case. Um, Bentley was appalling tonight. That's very generous of you. But yeah, I do agree. We are 1 subscriber away from 1175. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can just about. Lovely. We are 1 subscriber away. So if there's one person out of the 40 people in here this evening on a very interesting evening, let's just say after the football, to say the least, then I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel because the support has been amazing. So, and we've hit it. Thank you so much, man. Seriously, thank you. Like I say, if you would like to see more of these lives, everyone who's in here, if you want to see more of them, please put a 1 in the comments as we speak, so I can judge based off how many. There's 40 of you in here. So if we get 21 ones from different people, obviously not the same person putting it 21 times, but if we can get 21 ones, then I'll know the majority of people want to see more lives like this. So seriously, that quality and depth in this squad. Unless we get 4 or 5 in, then we're done for. This is the reason This is the season we finally dropped Shea out. I think in terms of what the promoted sides have done, mate, I agree because they've some of them have gone from strength to strength. I think Leeds' squad is still for me. I mean, it's still a very decent squad, but there's a lot more areas I'd look at as higher quality for Wolves in certain areas. Leeds, however, they do have a very clear transfer strategy this summer, which has been to sign absolutely massive players, to be honest. I know that sounds mad, but if you look at all their signings, I think the shortest one's about 6'1". I know that sounds mad, but that is genuinely a clear strategy they've very, very much gone for. Sunderland, again, have gone for a mix of young talent, exciting talent, mixed with, Premier League experience, like Granit Xhaka as well. However, Sunderland have got, their Achilles heel this season will be AFCON. I think that 4 to 6 week period could impact their season, I think. In all fairness, Sam Johnson was crap when he played, but Sarr can be a liability as well. A bit of a headless chicken runs off his line without thinking Sarr makes. Yeah, Sarr does make mistakes. Johnson makes mistakes. Just Sarr makes them far less. And Johnson plays less, so his mistake per game is probably relatively quite high. Everyone else spoke is concerned about the season. Clearly declining league position since promotion, and it can't go on like this, can it? WWFC Jonah, I have a very important thing to say to that question. It can. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, everyone is concerned that I've spoke to really. There's a few who haven't, and to be fair, I don't blame them because they've put very valid points forward. I think Dave's one of the ones that I really agree with in a lot of things that he says, really. That it's right, yeah, every right to be concerned, but also, like I say, there is still time. So until the time's run out, that's when, Time to be really concerned. But um, yeah, I agree, JS. I agree, mate. Do you think Fosun will sell if we drop back to the Championship? Probably, yeah. I'd imagine so, yeah. I think they'll cut their ties with the club pretty quick, mate. I think we need a friendly competition like Johnston plays 5 games, Sar plays 5 games. Yeah, but I think Johnston's like, I don't know. I mean, Sam Johnston at Albion used to get praised for his distribution, and he's not even got that anymore, so I don't get it. I don't get it. It just seems weird. Also, there's 43 people in here now, and I would really appreciate it if you are in here and you haven't subscribed to the channel. Please drop us a sub. I'd appreciate it. I really would. Yeah, Johnson does want to leave, mate. Yeah, about 8 million. Which, to be fair, I know they've lost 2 million on him in a year, but I mean, I'm going to you do well to get more than 8 million, wouldn't you? Really, you know what I mean? Is Johnson pound for pound worse than Silver as a signing? Well, maybe because you'll sign Fabio. No, he's not. No, he's not. Actually, no, he's not. Mainly because Fabio Silva did cost a lot, and equally, if you do get 15 to 20 for Fabio Silva after all the loan fees and stuff, you're actually probably breaking even or in profit on him. However, he signed with a big reputation as one of the most exciting, promising youngsters in Europe, and he's ended up going to Las Palmas, Anderlecht, PSV, Rangers, and he's only really had a I mean, I know he won the cup at PSV, but he's only really had a great deal at. He's only really had a great season at Las Palmas out of all them, really. What an analogy, Mr. Wolves fan. Vitor did not look happy at all at the final whistle. Ominous. I agree, Jules. Yeah, that was an interesting thing that I picked up on as well, mate. Also, Radio Jules, I don't think I've seen you around here before. And if you have interacted with my content, then that's my bad. But I don't think I've ever seen you in the comments or anything. So it's nice to see a new face and a new person. Same with you, JS. To be fair, I'm not sure if I've interacted with you in the comments. I might well have done. I just get quite a lot of comments at the minute, so it's hard to remember who I have and haven't replied to as well. So no doubt, Mr. She will magically find 100 mil down the back of the sofa come Jan, but then it'll be too late. I predict Vitor will be gone before Christmas. Losing mentality is creeping in now already. I don't hate that comment, really. I don't hate it too much. I mean, him finding 100 mil down the back of the sofa in January is pretty likely as well. It is pretty likely. But it'll all be okay, all right? It'll all be okay because, Wolves are one midfield injury away from being from a significant drop-off in there. They're a Strand Larson injury away from a significant drop-off in there. They're a Totti Gomez injury away from a massive drop-off there. The fullbacks, as it stands, if they get injured, wowzers. Dexter Lembakisa, mate, I salute you, sir. But no, in all seriousness, it is concerning. Definitely depth-wise as well. Definitely concerning. And Wolves fans have every right to be concerned. I'm not saying they don't, of course. It's never happening, but imagine Raul to Wolves, just a daydream though. He was only cost like 8 mil to get him back. Nah, he's still doing well at Fulham, to be fair. Fulham fans still love him, so which is nice because he's not their starting striker consistently week in, week out. But they've got that love for him, and he's come up with some massive goals for him. I think the goal against Arsenal last season when they beat Arsenal. Was it last season or the season before? Last season, I'm sure it was. But yeah, I think it's been really interesting tonight. I think it's been nice to chat to all of you and hear your takes on it. I will do a video tomorrow about Wolves, of course. I did a video about that, Jonah. I'm not sure if you saw it. I did it yesterday about homegrown players. Josh Brownhill was included in that video. Fosun irritate me, but at least they aren't as reckless as owners like Chansiri. Yeah, Chansiri. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is worse owners about than Fosun. Just, it's like picking. It's like picking between Genghis Khan and Stalin in it. Do you know what I mean? Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have neither, to be quite honest. But that's a very niche analogy there. But yeah. Cheers, Mr. Good Morning. I appreciate that, mate. When you think about it, got a fractured skull. Most people would struggle to walk after that. Yet Raul Jimenez is a Prem player. Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts, man. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Still scoring goals in the Premier League as well. Just, yeah, one of the most incredible stories, we'll see in the Premier League, probably, really. I'll just never forget watching that game, man. It was a horrible, horrible game to watch. Just the sound as soon as it happened, I just remember it because obviously there was no stadium audio, was there? And it was just, all you heard was just a crunch. Oh, it was horrible. But yeah, I'm going to do a video. I've got a video coming out tomorrow about the Wolves again, obviously, because everyone's loving them at the moment. And I will be speaking to Ryan as well. I'm sure most of you know Ryan Lester. I'll be speaking to him um, at some point this week, maybe some point next week potentially, but definitely at some point in the near future. So we'll do a full podcast there as well. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. But I'll be putting out more long form videos as well because the podcast did really well the other day with Dave and it was really insightful one that we spent. As you can say, we spent a lot of time on it and a lot of time organising as well. So yeah, but yeah, I think it's really interesting. Yeah, that is true, Mr. Wolves fan. But yeah, I think it's been really enjoyable tonight. Let me know what you thought about it tonight, and if you'd like to see more as well, then maybe shoot some video ideas that you'd like to see in the comments below, actually, as well, because I know there's a lot of ideas that Wolves fans want to see. Bloody hell. Nottingham Forest have made contact with Juventus for Douglas Luiz on a loan with a buy clause. Ooh, that'd be a good signing for Forest, I have to say. But yeah, I think just let me know what sort of video ideas you want to see, because ultimately, whatever the demand is, I will meet it. So whatever demand of content you've got, I'm happy to experiment with it and explore it. Really, I do think there's some interesting talking points still about the Wolves, of course. Might do a video on players. I don't know. I did the homegrown one that I was really happy about yesterday. And I've done a fair few signing ones, recommendations, stuff like that. So yeah, so let me know what you want to see from me, really, because like I say, my content very much depends on what Wolves fans want to see and the talking points that interest you lot most, really. So I think there's a few interesting talking points, definitely though, definitely something that we need to delve deeper into, really. I just find it mad, though, when you look at the team that Lopetegui walked out to. I saw it on Twitter earlier. I think it was like the team when Lopetegui left was like, what was it? Sarr, Semedo, Kilman, Dawson, Ait Nouri, Lamina Gomez. Was it Ait Nouri, Lamina Gomez? Was it? Yeah, Mateus Nunes, Sarabia, Cunha, Neto, I think. Something like that. But that team compared to the current state of play, very interesting. Yeah, I agree, Carl, mate, to an extent, mate. Definitely. Definitely. I completely agree with you there as well. I mean, even if you look at I think the bench in that side was, nowhere near good enough. But even then, I mean, the bench is very, very concerning, really. But yeah, I don't know what sort of videos to do now because, like I say, there's so many talking points, but I don't want to keep. I don't want negative content. I want content that you enjoy watching. But then again, there's not too much by way of positive stuff to talk about at the mo, is there? So, but yeah, so I probably will discuss maybe. So we've done a video on the ownership. We've done a video on the wing backs, the midfielders, the forwards they should keep. Mark Pubier, which obviously fell through. Jean Arias is signing. The right backs. Strand Larson links to Newcastle as well. That was another one I think we did. Vladimir Kufal links, which was wowzers. Probably my highlight of the window, to be quite honest with you. That was probably where so far the window's peaked for me. Seeing Wolves linked to Vladimir Kufal and the head loss on Twitter. That was peak transfer window stuff. That unbelievable. Stephen Hunt, mate. What a job as an agent you're doing, sir. But yeah, And then obviously he spoke about the homegrown players yesterday. So I think it's interesting. I think we could break down the friendly maybe, but obviously that's what this sort of live stream is. Um, yeah, we could do a few. We got a few options for content really. Um, I could talk about the players they need in every position. I don't think I've done that yet. Um, Forward depth I haven't covered either. Yeah, there's a few options. Um, why do you think Semedo took so long to leave? I think he's been on the cards to leaving since halfway through the end of next season. I just don't think he's announced it yet. Announced it till today when obviously Fenerbahce have signed him and confirmed it really. So yeah, deadline day live stream. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm very. I think I might be in work that day, but yeah, I can do a deadline day one if that's what people want to see. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Wolves movement on deadline day. Jeff Shee there, about 10 phones on him. He'll have his mobile, he'll have a landline, he'll have an iPad, he'll have FaceTime on the MacBook, mate. He'll be everywhere, all around the world. Trying to get signings in the last 5 hours of the window, mate. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Mate, he'll be phoning everyone in every country of every football club, trying to get someone in on deadline day, just trying to alleviate the pressure from him. But no. Yeah, deadline day live streams a great idea. If you've enjoyed the live streams, I hope you have. But I'll probably be on for another 3 minutes because I've been on an hour. So then it's probably best for me to jump off because I don't think many people want to listen to me drone on for much longer. But like I say, you've got about 2.5 minutes left of the live. So put some video ideas that you want to see in the comments. I'll make note of them and I'm sure that I can get around to doing them for you. Because there still is a lot to cover. There's a lot that needs covering and a lot that needs to be said still after all my moaning. I don't know if I'm moaning, but all my sort of controversial stuff. We can't afford to loan anyone. Absolutely fuming that Tommy went. We're so short quality players. Why loan Lima? Doesn't make sense. Andre got injured so very low in numbers. Yeah, there's just a lot of concern really. In every aspect of the game, isn't it? Really, I think we will. I will discuss some things tomorrow. You will see a Wolves video again. It will probably be up about 8 a.m. Did 7 a.m. this morning, but I think 8 a.m. is a good time. Just to catch those of you who start work at 9 just before then as well. So give you enough time to watch it. But what I'll do is I will jump off in about 2 minutes. So if you have any video ideas, like I say, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, like I say, my content is catered to mainly to Wolves fans at the moment, especially because of the sort of following I've got over there. And also there will be a vlog out. There will be a match day vlog out either on the night of the Celta Vigo game or the morning after. I'll try and aim for the night though. I'm going to the Celta Vigo friendly, so I will be vlogging that one because obviously I don't vlog Liverpool games or anything like that, but with Wolves, I'm happy to vlog them because I get the odd ticket. Throughout the season, I get a hell of a lot of tickets, so I'm happy to vlog them if people want to see it from my perspective. If perhaps you're in another country and you're a Wolves fan, or you're a Wolves fan that couldn't go to the game because you're on holiday, or your season ticket, or your season ticket expired, or whatever reason it might be, I'm happy to broadcast the games and give me sort of my first-hand experience. Might even get a food rating in there as well, but looking at me, I don't think I need any more. But I will be playing at the Content Creators Cup as well. That's one last thing I want to speak about. I will be playing at the Content Creators Cup for WCRFM, so I'll be there as well. So if anyone's going to that, I think it's £3 entry. You'll see all your favourite Wolves creators there, and it all goes to a great cause, to the Wolves Foundation. There's 12 teams this year. There was 10 last year. The Spurs chat and the Warsaw podcast are also on there, in there this year as well. Looking to raise, I think it was £8,000 is the current goal on the Just Giving page, and I think around another 2,000 in gift aid. So ideally, if you're in a position to do so, then you can go and support that, or just turn up on the day and come and watch an absolute masterclass from me, to be honest. But no, I do think it's something that is raising for a great cause, and I think you will all enjoy it if you can get down to the Compton training ground on the 6th of September. But thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate you all being on. That is true, Mr. Horse fan. Yeah, that is true. I very much appreciate you being on this evening. I will be live at some point again. It's been a real success, so it's definitely something we'll delve into in the future. Maybe after the next pre-season friendly. I think it's Girona, the next one as well. And like I said, deadline day live stream is probably going to be one that we'll definitely explore. So thank you all for being on this evening. I very much appreciate you all being here. If you haven't subscribed as well, there's 36 of you in here. I think we're about three subscribers away from 1,180. So there's 31 people who haven't subscribed. Maybe there might be around 30 people, 31 people. So if 3 people could subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. If not, then that's fair enough. You do you, and I appreciate you being on this evening nonetheless. But thank you very much for watching this. I will be doing more of these, like I said, and it's been a real pleasure to chat to you all tonight, and I'm sure you'll be seeing plenty of me in the future. And also stay tuned tomorrow at around 8 to 8:30 a.m. for the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.